Just in terms of living your life through those concerts and so on, I mean, can you recall what you were doing 40 years ago in that week when you wrote, that amazing week in terms of songwriting, when you wrote Crazy, Funny How Time Slips Away, and Nightlife?
Oh yeah, I was living in Pasadena, Texas, working at a club called the Esquire Ballroom out on the Hempstead Highway, and it was about an hour's drive over and an hour's drive back every night, and I was working there 6 nights a week. So the drive over and the drive back, and the traffic, I had plenty of time to think and write, and that week I wrote those 3 songs coming home at night after the show.
And you sold Nightlife for $100.
Yep. Glad to get it.
And it's one of the great blues songs. Many people have recorded it. And I imagine there were probably times when you would have wished you could have had the copyright back. The down times.
Well, you know, in all honesty, yeah, you probably wish you hadn't sold any of them, but at the time, I sold Family Bible, a song that I wrote. Sold 2 songs in my life, sold Family Bible and Nightlife. And got $100 for Nightlife, $50 for Family Bible. But I really didn't need that $150, and I felt like that hopefully I'd be able to write more songs.
Well, in fact, I read at the time that the reason you sold Nightlife was right at that moment you did need the money.
I needed it very badly.
Yes.
I need to pay the rent.
When you do write a song like Crazy, or when you wrote Crazy, I mean, do you realise at the time it's a special song, or is it just another song you've dashed off in your car between here and there, and that others have to tell you later that was a great song?
Well, I always enjoyed hearing somebody tell me that, but usually I had an instinctive thing that I felt like Crazy was a good song, Nightlife, Funny How Time. I felt like these songs were good, and if they got an audience somewhere, that they might be accepted. If they got recorded, they might sell. But, you know, I've been wrong about some, too.
You've famously described yourself as a pot-smoking redneck hippie. I understand the pot-smoking hippie. Why the redneck? What's your identification with redneck?
Oh, somewhere along the way, a guy that I grew up and was a guy who always had my hair cut short and my neck was always sunburned, and I was always going around maybe acting a little dumber than I was. So I think that's where the term redneck came in. And I never did really rebel against that term any more than I did the term outlaw, because I figured somewhere in between was the truth.
Because, I mean, outlaw I understand in terms of the way you've lived your life too, but the most widespread connotation of redneck is narrow, ignorant, bigoted, racist. You don't identify with that.
I came from there.
Yeah.
I came from an area where this was very obvious all around me, and the fact that I didn't become that way didn't mean that I didn't grow up seeing it all around me.
Mm.